Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. The other day, as I was catching a bit of the news, and I heard an anchor say that she had read a story where African American women are more likely to die in childbirth than white women, and that is true. And so it got me to thinking about what happened to me 16 years ago. And I don't know if any of you ladies can relate to what I'm about to say. But if you can, I highly recommend you go to where you and get your medical records. Read over your medical records. See, and if anything alarming arises, then I would highly suggest that you consult with an attorney. Um, in my case, everything turned out okay, but I just think that what could have happened. Okay, when I had my daughter, it was 16 years ago. It was Labor Day, and I always say, joke, we labored on that day, and but in hindsight, we really did, and I almost lost my life because I have I have five children and all five natural births. I've never had a cesarean. That's one thing I've never had any type of a surgery like that. So, um, and with this last birth, everything was proceeding normally, was fine. And then until the nurse came in and decided to give me an extra dose up my pitocin. And when she did that, I don't know why she did that because the labor was progressing. I had been asking for an epidural and they refused to give me one. They kept, giving me excuses of not why not to give me one, and oh well, we gotta wait and we gotta see and let's see how it's progressing. Everything was going fine. And so when she gave me the pitocin, it was excruciating pain, excruciating. And then the baby kind of went into distress a little bit, and then it was rush and let's get the baby out. And I was stressed, I was crying, I was upset, and but in the end, thank God, everything turned out fine. She's fine, hard headed a little bit, but she's fine. But if any one of you, I am going to get my medical records because I would like to read and see, just for myself, you know, why did she feel that she had to give me an extra dose of pitocin? And I kind of think that maybe that's what happens, And I want to talk to you also about being an organ donor. Okay, my brother was an organ donor. Being an organ donor is a very personal choice, but I just want to relay my experience. And it's just my experience. Go with how you feel, go with what you think. I'm just relaying my experience. So, okay, and this is what grow, you know, when I talk about experiences like this, I talk about experiences as my life as a testimony to help someone else, to help our community. So by me telling my story about my daughter in childbirth, and we have African American women more likely to die, and there is no excuse why. We're no different than white women, except the color of our skin. But all on the inside, we're all same. We have the same heart, we have the same lungs, we have the same kidneys, we have all the same things. The only thing that differentiates us is the color of our skin. So there is no scientific, no logical explanation why we are more times likely to die in a hospital having birth with a child. And there's no scientific reason why we're more likely to die in interactions with police than Caucasians or any other race. So that's what Grow is about. We're trying to get to the root of these problems. Okay, so being an organ donor, my mother had told the hospital no. My brother had told the hospital yes. My mother being the next of kin, the hospital asked, you know, are we able to get the organs? She said no. My brother hung on life support till about 2 a.m. when the nurse came in and sent everybody out. When they sent everybody out, they told everybody to come back in. You got about 10 or 15 minutes to say goodbye. They came back in and said goodbye, and By that time, the organ people were there, and they, said their goodbyes, and the organ people came and got the organs. So I just want, before you make a choice like that, I just want you to, because we know people who have came back from life support. We do know, and if it's your choice not to live on life support, of course, I just want our African American community to make informed choices, just like everybody else. Just like when you go to vote, make an informed choice before you go to vote. Think about the candidates. What have they done? What are they promising to do? What have they done in the past? Just read about the candidates. Don't just go with what you hear. Study for yourself. And again, when it comes to spirituality, we're on a journey here, and we're finding out a lot of information, okay? And this gets very, very deep. It gets very deep. And what I want you to do along with me is to do your research. Do your research, learn, study, and it's an incredible journey. It really is, because I'm finding out, just like I told you last week, I just found out about the ship, in 1619, and a whole lot of other information. I'm finding out that the ancestors didn't know about Christianity until they got here, and they adapted these traditions, and we actually have an African spirituality and customs that we do that were never brought to the United States, where they are now as the Africans are coming. But, when we first got here, and learning these traditions and customs and the methods of praying, I've been incorporating it in my life, and it has been working wonderfully. It has been working beautifully. I have been so blessed. And that's what I want for you, is to be blessed. I want you to begin to live a life in honor to God. And what does that mean? That means that God, just live as if God was standing right beside you. And your ancestors, they are around you. Read up on your South African ancestry. Your ancestors are around you right now. So so a lot is going on right now in the news. And what I would like to do, okay, what is like is so enraging to me, is that it seems that this country has forgot about what was done to African Americans. We're just supposed to sweep it up under the rug and leave it alone. And then then they look, why is there so much crime in the African American community? There's so much crime in the African American community because the oppression that we're up under, the oppression that we continue to be up under because of the influx of drugs in the 80s. Now, with reparations, they're talking about reparations. What we need is for us. They're not going to do it. I would like for them to come in and where they push the drugs in the community, come in and rebuild the community. But they won't do that. We can wait forever for them to do that. We are the first free generation. So now look how old we are. So it's up to us right now to rebuild our community by changing our mindset and the way that we think about ourselves. Stop oppressing yourself. Stop downing yourself. No matter what happened to you in the past, because I got a past. Everybody has a past. No matter what happened to you in the past, rise from that. You are better than that. Okay? So, and then you change your way of thinking, and then you start forgiving in your heart. And it is a beautiful life. You live a life in honor to God. You pray to the ancestors. They bless you. If you don't believe it, read it for yourself. It's true. So I want to cut this video short. I don't like making them too long, and I will make another one as soon as I can. And may God bless you, and let's grow. Please, let's grow. Change your way of thinking about yourself and about each other. Forgive, and let's grow. I love you. Bye.